face it, when it comes to date night, sometimes you have to think outside the box. Imagine a night out experiencing something new and refreshing without having to go far from home. Let me show you. Whether on a first date or not, dinner is usually in the date night agenda. For you established couples, I know you have your favorite restaurants that you absolutely love to order your special, but have you ever thought of eating somewhere out of the ordinary? Date night can be the perfect time to discover new tastes by trying that restaurant you wouldn't typically visit in your day-to-day. While you South Builders may be very familiar with the award-winning Beans and Cornbread Soul Food Bistro, owner and managing partner Patrick Coleman has ventured into a new food avenue that's garnering much attention. And get this, it's doors down from Beans and Cornbread. His new Soul Food Bistro, however, has a twist. It's vegetarian soul food. Southern Nosh made its appearance in the summer of 2013 and has already won the hearts of soul food lovers, vegetarians, pescatarians, and others who are intrigued by the unique and surprising dishes. Keeping this in mind for date night, I met with Patrick to learn firsthand how he prepares one of his most popular, healthy Southern Nosh dishes. Many folks are enjoying the benefits of vegetarianism. I'm here with Patrick Coleman, managing partner of Southern Nosh, a new vegetarian soul food cafe right here in Southfield. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Blake. Welcome to Southern Nosh.
Now, Patrick, everyone knows your Soul Food Bistro Beans and Cornbread, one of my favorites. Why did you decide to open a vegetarian soul restaurant?
Well, this was born out of a sense of responsibility, Blake. We all know that diet-related illnesses plague our community. Obesity, heart disease, things of that sort. And out of a sense of responsibility, we decided to open up Southern Nosh. It's the same flavor profiles as Beans and Cornbread in a meatless capacity. We're offering our patrons an option. Tasty plant-based diets just sort of struck a chord. We like to call Southern Nosh SONO. That's our acronym for Southern Nosh. But more and more people are going to plant-based diets. There is a strong vegetarian movement in this community, and we thought, let's offer that option to our patrons.
Now, Sono, that sounds hip and healthy. How long has Sono been open, and what's been the public reaction so far?
Well, Southern Nosh opened in the middle of July, and the vegetarian community loves Southern Nosh. You know, they have a place to eat. There are such limited vegetarian restaurants, and they're very territorial about this because this is 99% plant-based. At the same time, omnivores are really enjoying this food. I am an omnivore, and when I think of vegetarian food, sometimes I think of it being very bland. This is soul food. It's not bland. It's very hearty. And again, we take the same flavor profiles as Beans and Cornbread, and we incorporate it into a plant-based diet. It's really tasty stuff, Blake.
I see. Now, what are some of the dishes that guests will see on the menu?
We have items such as vegetarian catfish. We take very firm tofu, and we bread it with cornmeal, and we deep fry it. And it's our version of vegetarian catfish. We take some other meat-based substitutes, and we form drumsticks. We season it like fried chicken. We give it a batter, and we fry it. And you'll swear you're eating fried chicken. It's just no bone. All of our sides are prepared with vegetable bases. When you think of a soul food restaurant, soul food restaurants are measured by their size. So we have collard greens, we have red beans and rice, we have pinto beans, and all of those items are prepared without meat.
Wow. Now, you really got to stop because you're making me really hungry. Now, I'm really looking forward to a taste. So you're going to prepare one of Sono's signature dishes, right?
Yeah, we're going to prepare one of our specials, and we call this Swamp Thing. When you think of what's in the swamp, you think of seaweed, you think of catfish, plankton. We cover the bases, but it's all vegetarian. In fact, Blake, it's vegan, so it's going to be very tasty.
Okay, looking forward to it.
All right, so let's do some cooking. We are going to prepare our Swamp Thing. And what we do is we take tofu, we cornmeal crust it, we deep fry it, we put it on a bed of rice with some collard greens, of course without the meat, and we smother that with gumbo, and we add more tofu. We call it the Swamp Thing. And all of our menu items, in some way or another, we've recreated soul food favorites. We also do a chicken and waffle, and we actually take one of our vegetarian drumsticks. Now, Blake, these are 100% vegan, and it's a soy and wheat gluten, and we actually buttermilk batter it, and we deep fry it. So we're going to take some tofu, And Blake, this is extra firm tofu. It's like the same tofu that's in miso soup if you've ever had miso soup at a Japanese restaurant. So it's extra firm. And we're going to take bits of the tofu and we're going to take simple sea salt and black pepper and a little garlic. We're just going to season our tofu on both sides. Then we're going to take some soy milk. What we're going to do is this is going to be 100% vegan, so we're not going to use any dairy products. We're actually using a soy milk. So we're going to take our tofu and we're going to put it right in our soy milk. Okay? Then we're going to take some regular cornmeal, just some regular cornmeal. We're going to take that and roll it around our tofu and cornmeal. And once that's nice and breaded, we're going to walk over to our deep fryer here. We've got it set at 350 degrees. And we're just going to drop our tofu in. We're going to let that cook for about 2 to 3 minutes or so. Our swamp thing consists of the tofu. We're going to add a bed of rice. We also prepare a gumbo. This gumbo is award-winning, Blake. It's won 3 awards. It's the same roux that we use down at Beans and Cornbread. What we've not added to the gumbo is andouille sausage, chicken, and there's no alligator. But I would put this gumbo up against anything on Canal Street in the Big Easy. So what we're going to do now, take our tofu, see how crispy it is. Now we're going to grab our gumbo and we're going to smother the tofu and the rice with gumbo. And there we're going to take our collard greens. So this is just no meat. So Blake, are you ready for some plant-based down-home cooking?
I am. Alrighty, this is Swamp Thing. Let's go for it. I want to make for sure I get a little bit of everything. Some of my gumbo. Great. Wow. I mean, I like you, I'm an omnivore, so it doesn't even feel like meat is missing. I feel very satisfied from even the crispiness of the tofu. It kind of is that substitute for the meat.
Absolutely, it's real tasty stuff. And vegetarian cooking does not have to be bland. You can prepare this type of food with flavor and no meat. You're having a meatless lunch, Blake.
Sounds great.
In addition to items like our swamp thing, we have fried tomatoes on the menu, we have fried pickles on the menu. We do a wonderful vegetarian quesadilla, and we have vegan cheese as an option. So there are lots of items. I mean, who says vegetarian food can't be soul food, can't be comfort food? This restaurant is also kosher certified under the supervision of Rabbi Jason Miller of Kosher, Michigan. So folks that keep kosher, they're going to love this restaurant.
Well, it sounds like you have a great establishment here, and people can certainly find a place to be satisfied and be healthy.
We think so, and I want to thank you for being here today, Blake.
Thank you so much, Patrick. It was a pleasure. So after you've had your soul food with a twist, we're going to head to Ferndale to have some fun. It's a place called Painting with a Twist.
So you may have left the paintbrushes long behind in elementary art class and never looked back. But here at our next business, paint, a canvas, and wine makes for a surprisingly fun combo for an adventurous date night. No need to be a self-proclaimed Van Gogh. Here at Painting with a Twist, all you need to do is be willing to unleash your creativity, leave the harsh self-criticism at home, and bring your own bottle.
Painting with a Twist is, we like to say, we're a little bit of paint, a little wine, and a whole lot of fun. We're not serious art, we're more like fun art. Folks come here as a date night or with a friend, girls' night out. You can book a party with us, do a bachelorette party, just about anything, you name it. And you can just come unwind, let your hair down. You could be a Picasso for the day. and you can have a beautiful masterpiece by the end of the class. And the classes are either 2 or 3 hour sessions. We do provide everything you need to paint with, including the brushes, the paints, the canvas, even an apron to cover up with for those messy painters. But it's all about the fun. It's a wonderful environment. The artist takes you step by step. So even if you don't know how to paint, even if you don't know how to draw, it's okay. You're going to have a wonderful masterpiece by the end of the class. And I think a lot of people think that because they haven't done this since they were in grade school, you know,
art class.
Us as grown-ups, we think, you know, our creativity sometimes has gone out the window. We look at things as, or we want perfection and everything, and folks are like, I can't, you know, all those words, I can't, I don't, are, you know, on the tips of folks' tongues. And when they come here and loosen up, which they do, they have a really fun time, and they leave here with smiles on their faces, and that feels so good to see that and to be the one that is actually responsible for putting the smiles on folks' faces like that. It certainly is open to all ages. Our evening classes are geared towards our adults, but we also do family days that's geared to our younger painters as well. We'll do birthday parties, kids' birthday parties. We'll do senior days, and the senior days and family days and the kids' birthday parties, they're all at a discounted rate. So we appeal to just about any and everyone. As long as you can pick up a pencil or a pen, you can pick up a paintbrush, and we can take you step by step and show you how to paint. This is a place that creates not just a fun and inviting atmosphere for folks, but we get singles that come here and they actually have been able to meet other people and maybe leave not by themselves or create just good, healthy friendships with other folks. It's really amazing what this has done for a lot of people. We do have some folks that come, and they are artists. They have painted before, and they come because they want to just continue their craft. And they just take the painting that we're doing and take it to another level, which is, it's awesome to see the different creations that people do. Not just the artists, but folks that have no experience at all. Everyone has creativity inside them. And it just takes a little artist, like one of our artists, to just pull that out of them.
Like Michelle, many of the guests fall in love with the experience unintentionally. Although most walk into the studio with mixed feelings about their artistic ability or inability, they leave more excited than they came. Most importantly, they leave with a feeling of accomplishment. While we all can go for the classic dinner and a movie, there's ways to make catching a flick not so ordinary. I've shown you a new progressive spot for healthy and interesting food in Southfield, so for a movie, let's travel to the most beautiful Redford Theater, where you can travel throughout time enjoying the world's most classic films and performances while indulging in real butter popcorn that's second to none.
We are here at the Redford Theater. Please just tell me a little bit about the history of this amazing venue.
Be glad to. The Redford Theater was actually built in 1928, and this amazing Barton organ was built at the time in the theater. There's only 2 theaters left in the Tri-County and even beyond in Michigan, and that's the Fox and the Redford that have the original organs that were built in the theater. And then it was a movie palace. It was a vaudeville palace. It was built as a Japanese tea garden theme, and it's our understanding that there's only 2 theaters that have a Japanese motif in the whole United States. So it's a very unique kind of thing. The whole idea originally was that you would be able to come here in the 20s and 30s, get away from the craziness of the world, and relax in an atmospheric theater, stars in the sky, you know, clouds that travel around, and feel like you've been transported over to Japan. It kind of fell out of favor, obviously, after World War II, after Japan bombed us, so nobody would come. So at that time, they painted over the walls, took off the decorations, put large curtains, covered up everything that you see, painted over it. About almost 40 years ago, the Motor City Theater Organ Society purchased the theater. Well, they didn't purchase it, they started a lease. We became involved, and then they sold it to us, and at that time we started stripping the paint, removing all the covers and everything, and we re-stenciled the entire theater by hand. So everything that you see in here has been hand painted, and it's almost an identical replica of the way it looked in 1928 when it was built. Yeah.
When guests come here, what can they expect to experience?
All right, what they experience is not going to the movies. It's going to a movie event. Even though we rent the theater many times a year for various functions, plays, weddings, dance competitions, we show classic film series every other weekend throughout the year. We have a organ concert for a half hour prior to each movie. We open the movie with a national anthem and an American flag covering the whole stage. So it really kind of transports you back 40, 50 years ago. And then we have an intermission with another organ concert, 50-50, a wonderful concessions, award-winning concessions stand with 55 candy choices. And it was award-winning by the Detroit Free Press a few years ago. So the audience has a lot of participation. And the movies we select generally appeal to a lot of people, so seeing a movie here is not like going to any other kind of theater. You actually feel like you're part of it. Everything, the donations that we get, the ticket prices, the 50-50, all of that goes to keep the place operating. It's very expensive to operate a place like this. And the key here is that we are all volunteers. All the restoration has been done by volunteers. It's taken 40 years, and we were closed in May and June of this year for a $300,000 restoration project, which included new fire escapes, all new carpeting, $65,000 to carpet. We ripped out all the seats in the balcony and replaced the floors, and the new seats were made, custom made to look all like these, and it's spectacular.
The nonprofit Motor City Theater Organ Society, which owns and operates the Redford Theater, is a historic treasure perfect for a night of reminiscent bliss and appreciation for great entertainment. Whether young or old, the theater holds immense value for lovers of all walks of life and from every generation. So if you're going to make your way to the theater, next time consider this precious place right in the surrounding area. We all love date night, and we all can appreciate new adventure, so this is the time. As we approach the holiday season and the new year, surprise your sweetheart by putting some pizzazz on your next date night or nights, and watch how refreshing it can be for the two of you. You may even discover some new things about each other along the way. Before we go, let's take this time to welcome the Great Lakes Culinary Center that recently opened its doors in fall 2013. Great Lakes provides many services to its clients in the Southfield community. We had the pleasure of sitting down with President Mark Israel, who explained how the Great Lakes Culinary Center will be a wonderful food haven for local aspiring chefs and food lovers.
The Great Lakes Hotel Supply is an 80-year-old family business. We just recently moved to Southfield. We are a distributor and installer of commercial kitchen equipment throughout the United States. We decided to open up a culinary center that is attached to our core business of Great Lakes Hotel Supply. And in the culinary center here is now open to the public for cooking classes, to the restaurant equipment professional, for the chefs to come in and try new equipment. We allow chefs or food service professionals or even the public to try things before they get to buy it. And here you can actually close the door, cook your recipes on it, and allow them to basically, to their heart's content, do whatever they want to do in a kitchen. And this kitchen, due to the equipment and the way we have it set up, we can make it look any way they want. The only equipment that is in here is the industry's most energy efficient equipment that's available. So we can book events and do corporate parties, corporate team building. The premise of the culinary center is to be as flexible as any consumer or any person in the public wants. We can make this into any kind of venue that they want to have.